gearing up now for what's going to be an exciting lunar flyby tomorrow. Our flight operations team and our science team are ready for the first lunar flyby in more than 50 years. I know you guys have asked questions, and we've heard them over and over again, lots of questions about what's so special about the moon. And just wanted to say a couple words. You know, the moon and the Earth are fundamentally made of the same material. You know, in the way back, the Earth, the former proto-Earth, was hit by a Mars-sized object, a massive collision that left lots of debris out in space that then coalesced into what is now Earth and Moon. So our whole Earth-Moon system literally is made up of the same materials. And so although Earth has gone through lots of evolution with plate tectonics and weathering, you know, the Moon has been there as a witness plate to see everything that's happened over the, you know, the 4.5 billion years that we've been around. So very cool. So we're really excited to fly by and get to take these observations. Particularly having humans on board really complements the robotic exploration that goes on from NASA. They're definitely not mutually exclusive. We're working together hand in hand to grow our knowledge of what we know about the Earth and Moon system. There's a lot of science on this mission, not just the observations that you hear about from Kelsey, but our human health studies, such as the Avatar experiment that's being carried on board. All of these human health experiments are informing how we can keep our crews healthy on the longer missions that are coming up in the future.
Today, the astronauts started their day with an opportunity to put your orange launch and entry suit on in 1G back in Florida. It's a lot different when you try to put it on in zero gravity. And so we gave the crew a chance to practice that before they have to do it on entry day. And since the crew were wearing their orange suits, we also used this time today to practice a few contingency scenarios where they may, if they had to spend extended time in those orange suits, how would they practice drinking their protein shake or delivering medication? And how would you set up the seats in Orion while you're wearing the bulky suits? These are things that they would need to do in a contingency, and we wanted to be able to practice these before if we found ourselves in a scenario where we would need to do them.
We are coming up on the flyby tomorrow. We're getting really, really excited to hear the crew observations. We've heard some observations, Lori highlighted them, from when the moon was much smaller out the window than it's going to be tomorrow. And even those observations had a lot of science value that's already got our lunar science team churning in the background. So really excited for several straight hours of those tomorrow. And I'll talk today about what that's going to look like. In the last 24 hours since I was last here, our lunar science team completed the lunar targeting plan, which is essentially the plan, the piece of software that the crew will follow during the several-hour flyby. If you could actually bring up the screenshot of that lunar targeting plan. This is what's going to guide the crew's observations during the flyby. It is just a guide. They are the field scientists, and they are encouraged to, you know, go off book if what they're seeing in front of them really compels them. We've even built in targets specifically for crew choice, where they can really image what pops out to them. And so what you see here is what the crew will be looking at for the entirety of the flyby tomorrow. You see on the left side a list of sort of targets that listed vertically in the top left of the screen. Those are the targets in the timelined order we're asking them to image them in. And they're in a specific order because ultimately these targets trace back to our lunar science objectives. We have 10 lunar science objectives for this mission. All of them are covered in the targets in tomorrow's targeting plan, and they're in that order down the left side that you can see. The bottom left has the words that explain the significance of the target, as well as the prompts of what we're asking the crew to image and describe. So we have distinct prompts for the person that will be using the camera that's outfitted with an 80 to 400 millimeter zoom lens. And then we also have prompts for the person that's going to be looking at the moon at the time with the unaided eye, just using their eyes to describe what they see.